All right, everyone. Welcome in the Culture Zoo. John J. Bond here.
I'm Christopher Michaels.
And Halloween weekend. Here we are, 10 days out from the presidential election. It's Friday, so anyone listening after this is, of course, the day that all hell has broken loose. Yeah, crazy day. And
Crazy day. Quite a week to celebrate, though.
Quite a week.
We had a birthday here in the zoo.
That's what I heard.
Somebody, a special lady, turned 69 this week.
Hillary Clinton, 69 years old.
Rodham Clinton, 69 years old.
How old is that in she-devil years? Like 4,232?
I was going to say, don't you multiply by 666? So
Touché.
whatever that would come to. I'm not good at math, so I couldn't tell you.
What was that weird tweet? She put it on.
Yeah, she tweeted out. Well, I'm assuming, let's be honest, I highly doubt she tweets on her own.
It was one of her assistants.
Her handlers, that tweeted for her.
Maybe Huma?
Could have been. I don't know. She
seems too high up to be doing the tweets.
Yeah, social media, that's lower on the rung. She tweeted out a picture of herself as a young girl, and it said, "Happy birthday to this future president." Highly presumptive.
Well, when you're up by 11 and there's only 13 days left.
Well, it just depends on where you're looking, though.
Well,
I've really lost all faith in polls.
After the last few days, the gap is narrowing quickly.
Right.
So
right. Because, just every poll, it's like some say it's a dead heat. Others say she's up 12, 9, 10. They always throw in if you add in third-party candidates, this is what they're at versus,
Yeah, why do they even show us the two-way race anymore? It's not going to be a two-way race.
I think part of it is to influence people's decision-making.
Probably.
So if they keep hammering, oh, she's up by 10, oh, she's up by 10, oh, she's up by 10, but we're excluding the two major third-party candidates that are going to be on the ballot in, well, Gary Johnson every state, Jill Stein most states. If they keep hammering that, leaving those two out, I think the media is preying on a certain type of person that would just be like, well, it's pretty well decided. I guess I better vote for her just so I can say I did the right thing. So I was part of the crowd. Because people are a herd animal when you think about it. The crowd starts doing something, and people psychologically need to be part of the herd.
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah. So I think it's a psychological warfare thing that the media does to people.
Well, she's definitely measuring, or she was before today, measuring the drapes for the White House. She was talking about going into Arizona next week and kind of trying to run up the score.
Right, yeah.
And so the birthday thing does not, when you're
happy birthday
lollygagging around the bases on a home run, you're going to do stupid stuff like put out your picture and say happy birthday to a future president.
Yeah.
But it doesn't surprise me that one of her underlings would feel obligated to worship Her Highness with a...
Well, and I started to think about it, and I hope it's one of those, like in baseball. We're both big baseball fans. You don't ever talk about a perfect game or a no-hitter. You might think about it, but you never actually say the words. So really what I'm hoping is she jinxed herself by sending this out.
I hope so.
I really do.
That would be hilarious. That'd be the Dewey defeats Truman of our age.
Yeah, absolutely. I really hope everything falls apart on her.
How do you copyright tweets for T-shirts? Because if she ends up losing, I'm going to put that tweet on 1 million T-shirts and sell it to anyone that wants one, because that would be hilarious to rub it into the face of liberals forever.
Sure. I would assume I would say make the T-shirt and put it out there, and if you get a cease and desist order, just quit.
Ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah.
Yes, that's always the best
it's
policy.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness, right?
That's always the best policy.
So I would just do that. I'd buy one of those shirts.
Oh, everyone would.
So
you heard that? That's a copyright. That's as good as a copyright. I'm saying it right here
today, October 28th.
It was my idea first.
John J. Bond.
It was my idea first.
Copyrighted that T-shirt. In other exciting news for her, And this I think is the real birthday gift. This is the real birthday gift that she's getting this year.
The breaking news.
The breaking news
Breaking news today.
came out today. The director of the FBI, James Comey, has wrote a letter to Congress informing them that they were reopening the investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails because more emails have been obtained, and they need to go through them.
They aren't hers, though. Have you heard the latest, obviously, with the Anthony Weiner angle
Right,
and all that? Right. It's now they're saying that, and I just saw this a few minutes ago, that it was Huma Abedin was sending classified information to Anthony Weiner on the phone he was using to sext a 15-year-old girl, and that's how they found these communications, and there may be classified information sent.
So
The pervert that saved America, Anthony Weiner.
I hadn't thought of that. Very true. Very true.
It's like the part on Star Wars where if the little ship doesn't deploy with the droids in it, all that could have been prevented. That's the exact same
the
thing.
Escape pod was Anthony Weiner's sexual deviance.
Jeez, what a pervert. Well, this is what she gets for keeping him around as a beard for a couple more years after the Carlos Danger situation. Because if you get rid of him like you're supposed to, this is very poor spy training on the part of whoever trained Huma Abedin. Because this is, I feel like he's been he could have compromised this whole thing for years. 11 days out, here we are.
Well, wait a minute. I think you're thinking short term. I think part of her long-term goal is obtaining high office, just like Hillary. She toils under Hillary long enough, influencing policy for sick Hillary, like she will be, that she will eventually be able to position herself to run for a Senate seat, let's say in a state like Illinois, a highly Democrat state. She'd run for Senate or, I don't think House of Representatives, more than likely Senate, be helped to the top, like the Democrats love to do, and go from there.
Well, if that's her plan, the next 10 to 12 days, depending on what the FBI finds, is going to play a heavy role in that dream.
I think she's done.
Well, no, yeah,
Hillary's going to bury her now.
You think?
Yeah.
I think I think she has too much hubris to do that.
I don't.
That's her girlfriend, bro.
That's true. That's a very good point because Hillary's not sane, so you can't really say she's going to do this or that.
They sat on the tarmac today for 30 minutes trying to come up with how to spin this.
Nice.
I mean, she sat on her air, and no one had Wi-Fi. So they found out at the exact same time as the press did. So there was a total panic on the Clinton plane today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. This is hilarious.
I'd have just been
As the world burns.
Absolutely. The never-ending show.
What a show. What a show. I'm
is.
gripped. I'm on the edge of my seat again now.
Has there ever been a presidential election this drama-filled? You can't write TV this good.
Exactly. This rivals a Scandal, or it rivals any of those other primetime shows as far as drama goes.
I mean, and I think really with the internet and social media, we're getting to see House of Cards, like an episode of House of Cards playing out, or a season almost, playing out in front of us. This is insane. Arguably the front runner for the presidency. 10 days from now, she could win the presidency with an open investigation from the FBI, by the FBI, hanging over her head, which I really started wondering now, the down ballot races, if they go Democrat, would she be impeached? Do you think she would get impeached?
Oh, if the Democrats were in control?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. They don't break rank. No, they don't care. They wouldn't. I mean, Clinton, we already had a Clinton impeachment trial. They all were rank and file for a guy that committed perjury, obstruction of justice. They don't. I mean, it's the same thing. It would literally be the same trial without the blowjob.
God.
Starting it off. January, February. No, there'd be no. They wouldn't do it. They would shut down the investigations. There would be nothing. There'd be absolutely nothing. This is like if you're doing it to TV show, this is the second to last episode. We're left on a cliffhanger. James Comey is going to look into these emails that were sent to pervert Anthony Weiner's phone, and the presidency hangs in the balance. You can't write television that good.
No.
No one can write television that good. That is I mean, you're absolutely right. It's insane. Like, just saying it sounds like nonsense.
I guarantee you there are writers everywhere in Hollywood that are just like, fuck, I can't think of I could never come up with this. Even the best writers are just, they're probably sitting at home saying, holy shit.
This is going to be one of those things where a lot of documentary filmmakers and writers and journalists will have something to write about for the next 20 years. Every time it's been 10 years, it's been 15 years, it's been 20 years since 2016, you will see stuff about this election, this summer. This is the most insane summer and election since the 60s, by far. And I think it even exceeds the 60s, but that'd be the only thing close.
I think it blows the 60s away because so many people, I mean, with the internet, they didn't have the internet, so everybody can be connected to almost what's going on by the minute.
That's true.
From Trump having 4,000 people show up to a rally to Tim Kaine getting 30 people to show. Did you hear about that?
That is pathetic.
30 people showed up at a rally.
That is pathetic.
Less people. I had more people in gym class in high school than he had show up at a rally.
Well, no one goes to her stuff. No one's going to go to his.
I can't believe that, and so now this, as bad as things were looking for Trump.
There's a dim light out in the horizon.
Yeah.
There's a very dim light out in the horizon.
Yeah.
The pervert that saved America.
Think about
Anthony
that.
Weiner.
Think about that.
Well, it just all depends. I think that even if this ends up being a big nothing burger, they're not going to get it done within the next 10 days. So we're going to be talking about Hillary.
Right, no, yeah. James Comey, in the letter he wrote to Congress, said, we don't know how long this is going to take. And I read that it's thousands of emails.
Yes. I read the same. I saw the same thing.
So.
And Huma's been known to send some classified info here and there, because even of the Freedom of Information Acts that have gotten some of her emails, there's been a lot of stuff that has been redacted for national security. So who knows what she's sending back and forth with Carlos Danger. But this stupid motherfucker, this pervert, I mean, I cannot believe this. Who does this? Sends national security secrets back and forth with their estranged husband, like their show husband?
Only Democrats.
Only Democrats could get away with that.
Because of the hubris and double standard that they live by.
Only they could get away with that.
Their egos are so large, so vast, that they believe. I honestly think they believe the ruling class Democrats, not your normal Joe on the street, but your ruling class Democrats believe they are above all prosecution and all reproach.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They just cannot be touched. Because they are the ruling class. They are who Karl Marx talked about, the ruling class.
Yes. And the media certainly does their bidding too. I mean, it's all hand in hand. It's all this sick relationship. But yeah, that's the only way they can get away with this kind of stuff. Because if you just actually go read an article about this and say it out loud, like read the article out loud, just the absurdity of the words that will be coming out of your mouth, it's mind-boggling to read this stuff. I mean, how dumb do you have to be? There's some sailor that took 6 pictures of a submarine up for prison time, and they're sending classified information back and forth on unsecured.
And not just one person either, like that sailor. We're talking about a whole...
a network.
I was going to say conspiracy, because it's more than 3 people all conspiring to do an illegal activity.
But just to be dumb...
But like the network is fine.
It would be easy enough to just do it the way you're supposed to do it. They give you a phone.
I know.
It's breaking the rules to break the rules.
I've been trying to figure that out. Like, why in her right mind would she? What would make it easier about having a private server versus having a highly secure government server?
Unless, of course, you were intentionally trying to hide emails. Like, that's the only reason to do it, right?
Well, yes, I hadn't thought of it like
that. That's the only explanation, because they actually give you the equipment. You don't have to go out and buy anything,
right.
And they're rich enough to where
it's not public record how they're trying to send guns to ISIS.
Right. Exactly. And all that it's yoga, it's birthday stuff. Well, we're gonna find out, I guess, because they've found
obviously if it was yoga and birthday stuff, why would you need to destroy that? Which brings us to our next topic. The New York Post this week is speculating that the 33,000 emails still exist somewhere. There is a very good possibility they still exist.
See, this is what I was going to ask you about. The fact that newly released notes from the FBI strongly suggest they exist in several locations. Do you think the timing is coincidental, that this would have come out a few days ago and then this hits today? Because that's what I thought this was going to be. So it's very strange to me that this would be so close together.
Could be coincidental. I don't know who would be putting it out to deliberately harm her. Because,
well, I'm not saying that it's like a leak or it's like a thing to spin. I just mean that maybe this article from a few days ago was reflecting rumblings of what came today. So now what exactly do they have? Who knows what they have? How serious it is? Because how serious does it have to be for the FBI director to say, look, guys, we're 11 days out from an election.
And we're reopening this
criminal
case.
I have to send this letter today. That takes a lot of balls. Because
that's true. It's very true.
So what is it? I mean, no, obviously they don't know what they have, but clearly there's something that you would think. Because
obviously there's something. Obviously it's not a pinned recipe from Pinterest sent between the two. It's obviously got to be something.
Very strange timing. It's very strange timing. Because if there isn't anything and Hillary Clinton does become president, see you later, James Comey. Enjoy your retirement.
Yeah.
You better be, yeah. I mean, no, I think no matter what, probably. I mean, you think he would stick around under a Hillary Clinton presidency?
I'm sure he'd like to.
Would there be an FBI? Because if there were an FBI, I feel like she'd get in trouble a lot. Just ban the whole thing. just disband it all.
We're gonna completely strip funding from the FBI.
She'd probably get away with it if she had enough Amy Schumers and Sarah Silvermans in the world.
I don't know. I don't see. There's no way if she wins. There's no way Comey is around for her to be president.
Right.
There's no way. Because she's gonna put somebody in that she can tell. Make those emails disappear.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. I don't care what you got to do. She obviously doesn't care about the law being broken. Get rid of the damn emails.
And it's not a new thing either.
No.
So we're talking about 30 years of questions here.
And maybe it could be because the Podesta emails, new Podesta emails this week, have proven that Obama... Here's what I'm thinking. Let me theorize this. New Podesta emails this week prove that Obama actually knew about the private email server when he went on 60 Minutes and said, I know nothing about the private emails. I just learned about the private email server.
Well, of course he did.
Because he was sending her emails.
Right.
On that server. So I'm wondering if this is him as just a way for him... Because... I don't care how much Biden, Barry, and Michelle campaign for her. Deep down inside, Barack Obama hates her because they're Democrats. They'll eat their own.
And she hates him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a two-way street.
It's all about team.
He hates her. This way, if he tells Comey, reopen this investigation, because I'm sure they've known about this. They didn't just discover these this morning and be like, oh, shit, we've got to do something about it.
Yeah.
They've known about this for weeks, if not months. And this is his way of protecting his legacy in the event that there is something there that could tarnish his legacy. Because right now, he's on the way out with, if you listen to the media, he's been one of the greatest presidents ever. Now... the current state of our country and our economy prove otherwise. His signature policy is a ridiculous failure. So this will help him enshrine his legacy that I was an honest politician. that I had nothing to do with these emails. So go get her, boys. Because he knows come January 20, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whoever takes the oath of office, he's out. So, I mean, the worst that's going to happen to him at that point is a slap on the wrist.
Oh yeah, nothing will happen to him.
You know.
Well, I just think it shows just how blatant they lie. They just lie every moment. They lie. They lie to you. They lie. They look you in your eye and they lie. They lie to the voters. They lie to the American people, public.
Well, yeah, and it's because I think they honestly just despise Americans. The whole Clinton machine is now co-opted the DNC. I think they just despise Americans. They despise people. We've said it before that all they want is power. They do not care how they get it there. That's why they don't care. That's why they want illegal immigrants, because it replenishes voters. Millennials are leaving them, so they need to replace those votes with somebody, and it's the illegal immigrant vote. I mean, they're even calling millennials stupid, dumb people.
Well, they aren't they? I mean, that's one thing me and Hillary actually agree on. That might be the first thing that me and Hillary's campaign have ever agreed on.
I don't think it's fair to put them all together.
No, it's not. It's not. But,
No.
I mean...
But there are glaringly obvious examples of millennials, how just dumb they can be.
Also, in that same email, they were the Clinton staffers were complaining about how dumb it was that they had to do stuff with celebrities and stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, how decrepit and nothing of a candidate would she be without all this celebrity bullshit?
Right.
So it's like,
and I don't understand that, because it's kind of biting one of the hands that feed them, because they've, as long as I can remember, they've always kind of relied on the whole,
we're cool.
Yeah.
We're cool.
We're
in Hollywood.
celebrities. I'm going to vote for so-and-so, and you should too.
Yeah.
They've always relied on that, because there's a certain section of the population, and it's not just millennials, that are going to say, oh, I like so-and-so. I like Amy Schumer, and she's voting for Hillary, so I'm going to vote for her, because we're a herd people. It's the herd mentality. We're a tribal mentality.
Well, we'll see if it stands up over the next 10 days, because, man, if it's not now, it's not never, ever. This is like the weakness in the Death Star. You better hit it now.
Well, and yeah, it depends on how much the media is going to run with it.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised now if NBC has already said they have more outtakes of Trump from The Apprentice being foul-mouthed and I can't say overtly sexual, but
it's a good guess.
Less than flattering. So I wouldn't be surprised if come by Tuesday they release.
Oh, they've got to
more
now.
of that.
Now it has to be the final assault. Whatever they have
Yeah.
against Trump, you're going to see it right now.
In the poker world, they're going all in.
Right.
They're putting all the chips in the middle because they've got to at this
Well,
point.
at this second, it's trouble because now the race has gone from 11 points. The consensus is 11 points down to 4 points, with obviously some points in between. Really, it's probably closer to a toss-up. But the fact that they're even saying it's that close, because even the Real Clear Politics graph shows a downward spike for Hillary over the last few days, but a downward spike for Trump. So Johnson's not picking up votes, and Stein's not picking up votes. So one of those two candidates has to be going up, and I'm going to guess that it's the candidate that they always undersample his support, and that's Donald Trump. So I'm guessing it's a lot closer than what people think. So here comes the final assault on the Trump train. We'll see what they've got, and we'll all be worse off for it come November the 9th. We'll just, the morning after, we'll see what it is. That's my guess. Whatever lewd, disgusting thing he said, who knows what who knows at this point?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it could be anything.
I mean, if they're saving for something after grabbing by the pussy, oh, it's going to be juicy.
It's got to be really
It's
juicy.
going to be real juicy.
I can say by Tuesday. Yeah, because we're going into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, it's slow. It'll be slow news. They've got to get the ducks in order. They've got to get their media contacts, which have been proven. They had, over 30 journalists that were friends of theirs, as the mafia says. These are friends of mine, friends of ours.
Yeah, they're just propagandists for the Democrats.
Right.
So they'll get out there and they'll run out there and
So I think like in chess, they're getting all their pieces into place right now. Because come Monday morning, I'm going to say Monday morning by 9 o'clock here, so 10 o'clock Eastern time, there will be some big...
the final assault.
Yeah.
The final, this will be our final push.
They'll start blowing the bugle, and here it comes.
Yep.
Whatever it is, be it Trump talking about screwing his wife, whomever. Hopefully he's talking about his daughter Ivanka.
Oh my God! If it was that, oh please! I hope he's smart enough not to talk about that with near microphones. What a weirdo he is with that. And that's how much I hate Hillary Clinton. Is I'm still willing to vote for that weirdo.
Yeah.
for the madman. That's how much I care about immigration and trade. I'd be willing to go along. What do we got next? Leaked emails show Clinton donors funding ISIS.
Yeah. Leaked emails are showing Qatar is giving money to the Clinton Foundation while at the same time funding ISIS.
So they gave Bill Clinton $1 million for his birthday, and they're now, according to this, funding ISIS at the same time. Is that correct?
Correct, yes. Why wouldn't the Clinton Foundation give that money back?
Because they're hypocrites and they're criminals.
Well,
they don't
yes.
and they don't really have any principles. So I mean that's to me that's just the only.
Well, I think they have principles. I don't think they have any scruples, any morals whatsoever. So.
Yeah, it's really, man, that's scummy. These are scummy nations that they do business with, and this is we got.
Well, and they're in bed with everybody. Morocco paid, I think, $13 million for some conference, but the big key, or they gave the Clinton Foundation $13 million, and the big key was Hillary had to come speak at this conference or meeting that they had, and they're a state funder of terrorism. And she didn't wind up going, though. Bill in Chelsea went.
It's there. If you look up and down the list of the countries that have given, it's stuff like that all the time. It's all the time. Well, I mean, the future chief of staff of the White House will probably be Huma Abedin, who did work at that magazine, who has ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. So they're no stranger to very close-knit tie to some of the more the rogues gallery of the Middle East.
And don't people? I mean, at what point do people start to realize, holy shit, this evil woman? Because to me, she's an evil woman, smiling to our faces while at the same time sticking the knife in our backs. What will it take? I know the true believers will never. They don't care. It's not that they won't believe it. They just don't care.
Yeah.
But your average person on the street, the average man on the street or woman on the street, I don't want to be sexist. What would it take for them to realize this woman does not care about anything but herself? And
well, she's certainly willing to compromise everything about her to be president. And that includes dealing with nations who share none of her supposed values. I mean, I'm shocked that this doesn't hold more weight.
Shouldn't it be a disqualifier alone?
Yes, of course.
30,
40 years ago, forget the woman thing, because everyone, she wouldn't win anyway because she's a woman. Just her dealing. It's Nixon was forced to resign for less.
Not even say Nixon.
I feel like Nixon did less. That's my point.
He did. Oh, he absolutely did.
That's my point, is that he even did less than Hillary Clinton, and she still gets
and he was run out on the rail.
In part with her help.
That's true. That's very true.
That's where she first got her start.
First taste of the
power structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible when you just realize that none of these doves, these snowflakes, care at all about her dealing. They don't even see that. They see that as false.
And not to stand up for her, but it's not just her. It's all liberals.
Yeah.
All the progressives, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. I still refer to them as liberals. You're not going to change your name just to try and control the narrative. I never refer to them as progressives.
Well, what's progressive about government control?
Nothing.
So that was
But it's another thing it's one of the things, their tricks that they do is control language. That's why it's no longer global warming, it's climate change. That way they can cover both ends. They've got their ass on both sides. In 2009, after Obama won, and that's when you started hearing all this I'm not a liberal, I'm a progressive, because it controls the language. Liberal now is a bad thing. Progressive means I'm looking forward. I'm trying to make the country better.
Well, with liberals, as always, the ends always justify the means. So a lot of their voters can bite their lips and close their ears and shut their eyes real tight. And it's okay because the people that use the good language are in power. As long as they talk down to liberals and say, see, he uses naughty words, don't use naughty words, don't use non-PC language. You can have shitty unemployment, a bad housing markets. You can have
shitty test scores in schools.
Yeah, horrible education, no future, no jobs, everyone's part-time, healthcare doesn't work, everything's broken. But we're going to fight for transgendered rights in bathrooms.
Absolutely.
And that is the compromise that liberals have to have. Because even in 2012, Obama got reelected with the highest unemployment a president's ever gotten reelected with.
Right. I remember that.
So even then, no one cares. Well, but if you want to talk about it's a rigged system, it's rigged. We've talked about the Philadelphia thing with 100% for Barack Obama.
Sure.
So sure, I mean, I'm guessing Obama would still win if you really broke down the numbers. Because Romney was not that likable.
At this point,
I digress.
At this point, with these emails coming out now, or this developing story with the FBI coming out now, is it safe to say, or safe for Hillary to say, that the game is now rigged against her for Donald Trump to win?
I don't think James Comey. No. That's a joke. That's a joke. But I thought of this today. What is the chance? What were the chances that James Comey would have come out today if Trump hadn't been screaming, "It's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged"? Don't you think the "it's rigged" thing? Because his whole thing, I think, behind the scenes was, if I sit on this, wait for the election to happen, and then say we've found these emails on the between Anthony Weiner and Huma Abedin, we found this communication, and then he comes out with it then and says it. What's everyone gonna say? It's rigged.
Absolutely, yeah. That's very good. Good point.
So
very good point.
I mean, I understand that politics doesn't influence the FBI one way or the other, because
supposedly
2 months ago, Democrats were calling him a genius. Now they're calling him a traitor. Republicans were pissed off calling him a traitor. Now they're calling him a genius. I don't know how much it really sways, but certainly it's interesting that with Trump's "it's rigged" narrative, that he might have felt, because what would he have? I mean, this country would have come apart if he had waited till after the election, then says, "Oh, by the way, we have classified info that's being, we go right back into it."
Well, maybe you tipped your cap to Anthony Weiner. I'll tip my cap to James Comey for delaying next Civil War. Delaying
by a few weeks,
not stopping, just delaying, That's I hadn't thought of it like that. That's a very good point. Maybe this is that jab at Trump instead of NBC. Well, I think NBC is still going to release something to head him off come November 9th when the reports start coming in about, I won't say fraud, let's just say irregularities.
No, that's
with the vote.
That's a nice choice of word.
That way, this can kind of head him off. Like, no, it's not been rigged. Like, we're still investigating her, even though, let's be honest, the American public will forget about it in 90 days.
Well, my point was more just that I wonder how much that narrative he's pushing would have any influence at all. Not necessarily that it did, but that's interesting you said that, because even today he said, well, maybe it's not as rigged as I thought. So maybe he's going to pull the foot back now over the next few days and not go with "it's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged." Because ever since he started the "it's rigged" polls have been showing that a lot more American voters believe it's rigged too. And those are likely voters. They voted in 2012. His whole strategy is to get the people that have dropped out the last few cycles. So even if the people that are in the voting pool are already saying it's rigged, the invisible voters, however many of them there are, already do think it's rigged. So we're getting closer to here to 50% think it's rigged. And that really resonates because we know that there's two different sets of rules in this country for the elites and us.
Oh, sure.
We know that. We see it all the time. Millionaire athlete beats his wife, gets off, whatever. Hollywood actors doing stupid things, they get off all the time. People in Washington, D.C., you can't say it's not rigged. We know it's rigged. Now, whether or not it's voting or whatever, people just feel it. It's rigged, and it resonates with people. Like today, journalists were freaked out. You could tell they could not believe how stupid this woman was to have done all this stuff on private servers.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to say that, yes, this is his. I hope he doesn't. I honestly hope he doesn't lay off the it's rigged talk. Because I do think, part of me thinks it is rigged. Not in a Philadelphia where precincts are coming up 100% for one candidate, but almost in a way that your vote, my vote, the people listening to this vote, almost just doesn't really matter.
Certainly in a philosophical sense.
And that's what I mean.
Philosophically, it's rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that they're changing ballots, but it's like we know that when we vote, they're not really going to do what we want them to do.
Right.
Yeah.
The things that we need, not what we want, we need them to do. I saw it this morning on the news. They were talking about Congress is there's six representatives in the House that are proposing a bill that would set a minimum size for an airplane seat, because they've shown over time you've lost like 6 inches of leg room and seats have gotten 4 inches narrower. And I'm thinking, what good does this do? I don't care about the size of an airplane seat. They're uncomfortable. Unless I'm flying by myself or with a very small group on a private plane, I'm going to feel cramped.
Yeah.
I don't care how big a seat I've got. Yeah, it could be a damn lazy boy. I'm still going to feel cramped if I'm sharing an armrest with someone. So what good does that do? Tell you what, bring jobs back into this country.
Yeah, let's start doing the real stuff.
Lower taxes.
Yeah.
Spur growth in the economy. Do what you're actually sent to Washington to do.
Get out of the economy.
That would be best.
Get out wholly.
That would be best.
Out of the economy. Have no government interaction with the economy.
Well, isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
Yes.
Isn't that the way the framers intended this for this country to work?
Yes.
The government is not supposed to be involved in the running of anyone's day-to-day life, other than keeping our border secure, which we can't do.
What we won't do. Be fair. We could do it if we wanted to.
Okay.
We don't want to do it.
I stand corrected there. We won't keep the border secure. We have to meddle in everyone's daily life.
The light bulbs.
From the light bulb you use, to the health care you have, to what bathroom you use.
The tank on your toilet having to be water efficient.
To what kind of car you drive. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. All these people, without government, we wouldn't have this and that.
There'd be no minimum wage.
Right.
There'd be no roads.
Guess what? There doesn't need to be a minimum wage.
Well, there'd still be roads.
Oh, there absolutely would be.
And there'd probably be so many damn
jobs.
Tell me,
and see, this is the libertarian thing. Tell me what the private sector can't do better than the government.
Spend your money.
That's about it.
Yep. That's all.
That's about it.
That's the whole scam. That's it. That's all it is. Well, that's why, though, we have to brainwash our children into believing the Founding Fathers were racist, quote unquote, all racist, just all blanket. They're all racists. Because if they start reading about the Founding Fathers, they'd realize they really did not intend for government to have as much control over our lives as what we have right now.
Right.
So we really got to make sure we snuff that fire out finally.
And there we go again. The Democrats are controlling language. If everybody's a racist, if everybody that's they deem bad is a racist, you're automatically discredited.
There's no argument.
You are automatically discredited.
There's no conversation to be had. You're done. You've been blacklisted.
You are a racist.
Right. Yeah, it's but there was one man who came from the horizons to stop it. Donald J. Trump. Grabbing thigh by thy pussy as he
grabbing America by its pussy.
Rides by on his steed, on his majestic steed. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to pull it out or not, but she'll be so discredited and unpopular by January 20 that just give it to Tim Kaine. Let Tim Kaine get sworn in. He'll end up being the president anyway. He scares me less than her. I want her totally out of power. She can have not a shred of power. She would find a way, even if she was a hall monitor in elementary school, she'd find a way to embezzle the school of $500,000. Like, the school would shut down. Like, so no matter what, anytime the Clintons have their talons in power.
And especially now because she's really starting to hint at the beating the war drum. We're getting ready for Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Because have you seen the hashtag draft our daughters?
Yes.
On Twitter,
yes,
because she made a comment about it's women's turn to get in the front lines of combat, and it's like, oh my God.
Do you think Putin just laughs? Like, he just laughs at the way we run our military. Like China, I bet they're laughing their asses off.
China, yes. Putin, I don't know, because he's sitting in the crosshairs. So, and he doesn't strike me as one having a sense of humor about something like that.
He doesn't strike me as someone.
He laughs probably more at her than our military.
Oh, I would imagine they sit back and he knows that our army right now, there's no military vision as far as defense goes. I think China, Russia, they sit back, they laugh at us. We've taken the eye off the ball. They can't believe we're giving them an opening to fill the number one superpower spot. Because it's not us. They're preparing.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you be? We're totally divided as a people. Part of being a superpower is that you have the people's consent, I would say. It's for a true superpower. Maybe not with China, because they are communist.
Let's be honest. Our friends, the Chinese, are communist.
But are they but would you consider them a superpower because of that?
I've always said I'll never consider China to be a superpower, considering there's a significant portion of their population that still lives in caves.
Right.
And it's somewhere around, I think 15% of their population lives in fucking caves. Think about that.
Well, I won't have to think about it. I'll have to probably live it if Hillary Clinton becomes president.
Actually, well, no, because you'll be living in a FEMA camp.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll be stuck in the camp.
A re-education facility.
With the number. I wonder what kind of... I'm looking forward to the videos, the propaganda.
I'm looking forward to the tattoo.
Yep. You get a cool new tattoo.
I'm a fan of tattoos, so I can't wait for my barcode. And that you lose your name. So you're no longer John J. Bond, and I'm no longer Christopher Michaels. I'm now 17A3X4.
We're making wallets for West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Spending our long hot days.
Oh no, we'll be making shoes to send to the Chinese.
Man, I don't know though with the Russia stuff. That they really want to go into Syria. They really do. We're right now in 7. We're bombing seven different countries right now.
Rad.
He won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, I know.
This is the president that won the Nobel Peace Prize, and she will go. There will be a confrontation in Syria, and Russia will not hesitate to confront us.
Well,
Putin, the old KGB agent, has long hated the United States.
I think some of the luster is coming off the Nobel Peace Prize, anyways. Just because, have you heard? Bob Dylan won the Nobel Prize for. I think it's achievement in literature or something like that, and they keep calling him, wanting to give him the award, and he's not returning their calls. He doesn't answer the phone for them. He's not getting back with them.
Oh my Lord!
Oh, I mean, doesn't that really kind of just show that it's more or less a joke? nobody really cares. Did you hear about Newt Gingrich making an appearance on the?
I watched it.
I watched the clip. I didn't watch the whole episode.
Well, yeah, I mean, I watched the
Yes.
clip. I didn't. Yeah, I don't watch her show. No thanks. She'll be at CNN next year anyway.
You
She's-
think?
Yeah. Well, she's asking for $20 million now. from
Right. I think
Fox.
she's shooting for something bigger.
Oh, definitely.
I think bigger than CNN though. I think she's shooting for network.
Oh yeah. Well, whatever.
Good-
Whoever calls,
Good Morning America
whichever the best offer calls. Oh,
is where she's looking.
she's going to be disappointed by the fact that come November 9, she's going to be one of the traitors from the left again. They'll still throw her under the bus. She'll suck up to him this whole time trying to get a real gig. She might get the paycheck, but she still won't get the respect. But yeah, she was calling Trump a sexual predator, and Newt Gingrich took exception to it because she won't use that kind of language against Bill Clinton.
And hat tip to Newt Gingrich too for not backing away from it. Watching that clip, like she tries two things. She tries to bring it up and establish her position that Trump is a sexual predator, and then at the same time wheel and say, no, I'm not taking a position and calling him a sexual predator. And I love Gingrich said, you are fascinated with sex. And you could tell if you watch the video, and I ask you, watch the video. If you're watching the video, don't watch Newt Gingrich while he's talking. Just watch her, because you can tell it gets to her. Because her face changes. Her eyes narrow and her mouth closes. Her mouth was slightly open when he started to say it, and as soon as the sentence was done and you could see it go through her earpiece, her mouth closes and her eyes narrow a little bit. So you know it hit home when he said that to her.
Well, I certainly can't disagree with his overall approach, because it is true. She won't use that kind of language. The idea that Donald Trump is a sexual predator, maybe when the left starts admitting that Bill Clinton.
Right, and I'm glad he pressed her on that, and she would not say it.
Right, of
She
course.
would not. We've covered that in the past. That's all she would say.
But she wouldn't say it.
Right.
I mean, it's just, you see it all the time. I mean, Fox is breaking up even. I mean, that.
Oh yeah.
They're,
Well,
I mean,
I think Newt made a very, very valid point by bringing that up, because Hillary has consistently talked about, when my husband was president, we had a budget surplus. So she's not running on just her record alone. She's running on his record as well, which makes everything he has done fair game.
well, certainly when his original promise to the American people was if they voted for him, it was a 2-for-1. That they were going to get the famous quote about it's a 2-for-1 deal. With me, you get her too. So
That's true.
you
That's
can't-
very true.
You can't come back now years later. Now they've obviously
They're trying.
done that, but
trying.
yeah, they're certainly trying. It's man, those Megyn Kelly, I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, the spat last year with Trump
Yeah.
forever changed her
Yeah.
career trajectory, but yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if she slept with Bill. I wonder if they have like a little side thing going on, because she clearly doesn't want to bring up the fact that he's a serial offender. Decades in the making, and she's an enabler. She went out and not only stuck up for him, but tried to destroy these women.
Well, one thing I find interesting about the whole exchange is, have you heard her on Howard Stern's show?
I heard he mentioned something about it, but I didn't go back and listen to what she said on the show.
And she's talking about her sex life with her husband. Her breasts are discussed with Howard Stern. So really, she doesn't have a problem. It was like bordering on.
She's not a prude, in other words.
Right. It's not as openly aggressive, I would say, I guess, as grab 'em by the pussy. But obviously no topic is off limits. Certainly what you could say is locker room talk.
Well, she's over.
I mean, it's Stern, so
Yeah,
what you're going to get.
she's done as a real journalist. Certainly. Yeah. I mean, no one. I mean, I don't know who people on Fox, like Shepard Smith and stuff, who do they think's watching Fox? Who are they trying to impress? Who are they trying? Like, just read the lines. I mean, don't, do what MSNBC does. Don't spin it 100%. Do like a little kernels here and there criticizing your team to try to show, that you're quote unquote impartial. But come on. We know the game. We know when we watch Fox, we're not going to get, we're getting editorial news. We're not getting real news.
Well, and that's one that Newt Gingrich brings up the disparity after the first debate. They spent 23 minutes tearing apart like one thing Trump said, and 97 seconds or 7 minutes talking about something that Hillary said. And she goes, "Oh no, we're fair and balanced." And I'm thinking, no, you're not.
Yeah. I always thought their tagline, that was kind of hilarious, like a wink at liberals and be like, haha, kind of like a fuck you. Like, fair and balanced, right? Wink, wink. Like, we.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Like, who would come up with that?
Because they lead in the ratings for the national news networks, for the big 24-hour news stations. So I think it is they're like, we're better than you.
Wink.
Headline news, CNN, you guys started all this and we're beating you.
Fair and balanced.
Yeah.
Wink. We have Sean Hannity in prime time. Wink. Like, come on.
Oh, come on. He had Alan Combs with him for years.
No, that punching bag. Yeah, that was a real hard-hitting.
It was a human punching bag.
Shut up, Alan. I was surprised Hannity would just pop him in the mouth.
Slap him.
Yeah.
Just open-handed slap.
Challenges him to a push-up contest. Whoever can do more push-ups won.
Human punching bag / like walking corpse.
Oh my god, he still has a show.
Oh really? On what network?
It's horrible. No, it's just radio.
Oh, okay.
And it's not obviously.
He popped up on my Twitter the other day, and I can't recall what it was today.
Preview for the new Tales from the Crypt.
Probably
That crypt keeper looking motherfucker, Alan Combs.
Definitely a face for radio.
Oh, yep. Absolutely. Well, I think it's that time.
Been fun.
It's been real fun. I'm John J. Bond.
And I'm Christopher Michaels.
This was the Culture Zoo.